Yesterday, in my view, one of the darkest days in the history of our nation. An unprecedented assault on our democracy. They weren't protesters. Don't dare call them protesters. They were a riotous mob, insurrectionists, domestic terrorists. It's that basic, it's that simple. The past 4 years, we've had a president who's made his contempt for our democracy, our Constitution, the rule of law clear in everything he has done.
Jesse, let's get some reaction from you about the events of the last 24 hours.
It was very bad. It did not help at all. Those few people that went inside the Capitol really made the entire movement look horrible, and I condemn it fully. And I want to speak to the people that think it wasn't that big of a deal. Yes, you're allowed as a member of the public to go into the people's house, but you have to go through the front door and you have to pass through a metal detector. You can't smash windows, spray police with chemical agents, assault police officers, loot and vandalize. An unarmed woman was shot dead. And what did it accomplish? It accomplished absolutely nothing. So I just want to make that very clear. In context, what happened yesterday doesn't really hold a candle to what we saw over the summer with Black Lives Matter and Antifa. When we saw churches burned, police precincts burned, businesses burned, federal courthouses burned, people knocking out old women on the corner, people looting, people shooting people dead in the streets. Remember David Dorn? So we condemned that fully. While the left sit back and laughed at that. So I don't want to hear anybody on that side talk about what's right and wrong in terms of political violence. They don't have the moral high ground. But here is the root cause of this. 75 million Americans feel disenfranchised. You can't dismiss that and say those feelings are based on a lie without taking a full inventory about what happened. That's dangerous and that's disrespectful. It's not a lie to say that major corporate media destroyed President Trump, suppressed all good news about him, and suppressed all bad news about Joe Biden. That's not a lie. It's not a lie that Democrats filed over 300 lawsuits last year, gutting state election laws, circumventing state legislatures, and getting Democrat secretaries of state and Democrat judges to sign off on all that. Abolishing these signature requirements, extending deadlines. That's not a lie. It's not a lie that poll watchers weren't allowed real access. It's not a lie that people came forward and said they saw voter fraud. And then when Republicans challenged this after the election, those very same Democrat secretaries of state and Democrat judges just dismissed it. So there were a lot of doubts about 2016, and we pursued those doubts for 3 years. We had investigations in the House, the Senate, the media, and a special counsel. And after 3 years, we came to a conclusion that there was no collusion. And that very same treatment needs to happen today. And it makes people very suspicious and very angry when the entire power structure in this country says, no, let's not look at that election at all. So we need to figure this out so whatever happened yesterday never happens again, because that was a disgrace.